let me introduce my panelists to all of you. She has 9.2 million followers on Instagram. She has 2.2 million followers on TikTok with 26 million likes. Let us all please welcome entertainer, sociopreneur, PT Cinta para Semesta. Let's all please welcome to Kiehl, Cinta, Kiehl. Thank you very much, Cinta, for joining us. Our next panelist has 1.3 million followers on TikTok, 17 million likes. As you can see, I did my homework because I'm also in TikTok and Instagram. And on Instagram, she has 4.4 million followers. Let us all please welcome actress, beauty queen, entrepreneur, and mental health advocate, and founder of SOLÁ, and founder of You. Let us all please welcome Kylie Verzosa. And our next panelist is, of course, who has a TikTok account here in the audience? Does anybody have a TikTok account? You mean only me? Don't be shy. I'm sure most of you are on Facebook, Instagram, X. There you go. Friendster. Friendster. Okay, Snapchat. So she is Director of Public Policy for Southeast Asia for TikTok. Let us all please welcome Chanida Klyphun. So, I know now that everyone here doesn't have a TikTok account, but most of them have been stuck in the Friendster and Hotmail era. So, let us start off the panel with a question for Cinta. Everybody knows you are an entertainer, you have your advocacies. Basically, tell us, how do you ensure that your advocacy remains authentic in the digital landscape?
All right. Thank you for the question. Good afternoon, everyone. So I started my career at the age of 12 in film and TV. And over time, I realized that visibility only holds power once you open doors for others. And so I figured, why separate art from advocacy and business? Why not connect them? So that's why I created my company, Cinta para Semesta, a creative ecosystem that connects storytelling, business, and media. And it essentially brings together companies that work symbiotically, such as a creative agency, a creative hub, a film and creative fund, as well as a media arm. And together, these form a pipeline where creativity becomes culture, and culture drives social and economic impact. Now, if I were to give an example, my media arm, Para Suara, it's essentially a safe space for discourse, a platform for the youth to practice critical thinking skills, bold communication skills, and also a way to engage in a meaningful manner. Now, if we shift to my film investment fund, RVO Horizon, essentially what we do is seek out daring Indonesian voices and ensure that the local stories that are being told really shed light on our triumphs, our downfalls, our identity, and ensures that the story reaches global audiences. So in my opinion, storytelling isn't just about representation, but it's about crafting new narratives to shape the way the world sees Indonesia and how Indonesians see themselves.
I'd just like to jump in there,
Yes.
Cinta. Your focus is the Indonesian market.
Correct.
It's one of the biggest, it's the biggest population here in Southeast Asia with 300 million people. And
Correct.
how is your narrative? How is your messaging? Is it in Bahasa or in English?
Yes. So I usually create my content in Indonesian because we can't deny that the majority of population speak Indonesian and not other languages such as English. And although the topics that I talk about might be rudimentary to you and I, such as, let's say, harassment or abuse or gender equality, to them, these topics are something that's considered taboo or even sensitive, and therefore it's so important to be able to share insight and information in the language that they understand so that they don't feel isolated.
All right, Kylie, you have an advocacy over the past 8 years, and that's mental health matters. How do you ensure that your storytelling, your content is authentic?
I think we have to remember that each creator is a brand, and we all have our own set of values and our own set of audience. And let's say when I first started Mental Health Matters, it was because I went through depression, and this was, I think, around 10 years ago. And I wanted to share this on a platform, and the purpose of it was to educate people about depression, but also at the same time now, how do we evolve it into actual better systems? So let's, for example, for NGU, it's now a subsidiary of NGU, and that we want to provide better healthcare access or better psychiatric treatments for, let's say, for mental health matters.
So, but how do you make your content relatable to your audience and to a wider group of people?
So the thing is, the purpose of the algorithm is to push for engagement, if I may be right. And subjects like education or financial literacy or mental health sometimes can get lost in this algorithm that pushes for entertainment. So I feel like the best way is to make it bite-sized, digestible, relatable to the audience. And that's why I love, let's say, panels like this that give us an opportunity to go beyond the probably perfect pictures you see online, and that you hear our voice, and there were actually real people who went through things. And I also love the podcast format. That's where I get my information and news, and just trying to make it digestible, relatable, but at the same time still entertaining.
I see that Cinta wants to chime in, but let's get let's get Chanida into the discussion. And when Kylie and Chanida and Cinta talk about bite-sized, relatable content, right now the attention span of everyone is like what? 10 seconds? You really have to catch your attention in 10 to 15 seconds, or even much less than that.
Maybe 3 seconds.
Maybe, oh my God, 3 seconds. So my retention is still quite long. So how does TikTok promote these kinds of advocacies, and it is not overwhelmed by all the misinformation and disinformation and all the dancing and singing on your platform?
TikTok's mission is to inspire creativity and bring joy. But what makes the visibility on the platform is that the most important thing is not about who you know, but it's about what you love. So our discovery ecosystem will connect people based on their interests, not on the social connections. And that's why, like the panel here, you can build a go-to audience, like sharing the subject that's close to your heart and make it moving. Yeah. But of course, at TikTok, the safety is our top priorities. So we invest more than $2 billion a year working on the technology and people to work 24/7 to moderate the platform.
And of course, in this kind of forum, we are promoting inclusive growth, sustainability. Is there a space for that in social media platforms?
Of course. I would say the contents are quite variety on TikTok. You can, let's say, move the society, sharing the things that at first people don't care about, but now it becomes they get more awareness and they make into action. I want to give the example of one Indonesian creators. It's a group of 5 young guys called Pandawara Group. They move around 235 sites to clean up the waste. And the waste they clean up is more than 1.3 tons. Their action passed through Vietnam, passed through Malaysia,
yes.
And all the creators work together to become the creator contributions. So that's the power of the discovery. How anyone, anywho can make things happen and change.
The power of the discovering, and also the power right now of the youth movement, right? The Gen Zs and the millennials have to be part of this movement.
Yeah.
So you wanted to say something, Cinta?
Yeah, I mean, what I want to say was, people have very short attention spans, under 3 seconds. That's correct.
3 seconds. Oh my gosh,
And
I'm way off.
you know, in a country like Indonesia with vast economic disparity, geographic fragmentation, and unequal access to education and information, it's very important for me, at least, I've realized when I want to create a social critique on a political condition or a social condition to make sure that it immediately triggers people's emotions. Because at the end of the day, I think we may not necessarily care about the facts regarding environmental destruction or like, I'm sorry, suicide rates. Some people are really that blasé, but what they do care is what we say affects their daily lives. I think at the end of the day, we do care about each other as humans, and when you can tap into that, that's when people really engage, and that's what I found. When I choose a hook that immediately makes people perk up within the first 3 seconds, that's when they listen, no matter how heavy the content may be.
So how do you grab the attention of your viewers and your followers in 3 seconds? I mean, especially here for our audience. I mean, they would want to learn from you and how you create that content. How do you grab their attention? Kylie first, and then let's go back.
I guess it's really knowing what you stand for, what you want to speak about, and audiences are smart now. They can already tell what you want to speak about and if you're honest and truthful about it. So I guess, let's say, speaking about things like mental health matters, it does hold value that, let's say, someone has gone through it, or if you speak about suicide, it can be a heavy topic, but if you find a way and make it like a little bit light, entertaining, then it'll be able to like hook people.
All right.
Doesn't always, you're right, that can be done, but also when you ask really triggering questions, like what if today was your last day with your mother? Or like, what would happen if you lost everything tomorrow? You know, these triggering questions, rhetorical questions that they may not be able to answer, but causes them to think.
Mm-hmm. Those are great tips. Maybe for my next post. Chanida, I mean, how are you also helping the micro, small, and medium enterprises grow their businesses? Especially during the pandemic, we saw a lot of these MSMEs grow, and there was really no need for them to build brick and mortar stores. They could just really sell from their homes. Food, whatever, clothing, etc.
And in ASEAN, 97% of business are MSME, and it creates up to like 60% of GDP. This is the backbone of the economic in our region. However, a lot of like entrepreneurs cannot reach out to like the right marketing tools and the visibility. So we have TikTok and TikTok Shop that unlock opportunity and possibility for people. So they can have the right tool, they have knowledge, and they can like share what they want to sell with the world. This year, we work with like ASEAN Foundation and ASEAN Business Advisory Council. We launched the ASEAN Soar Together program. So we work with like the women-led and the rural entrepreneurs. We train 50 MSME and also like equip them with a skill like listing, live streaming, and also sharing like what kind of things they have been made of. That's one good example. It's from Philippines brand. It's called McQuai. It's a woman-led cosmetic brand. They sell like leaf-free sunscreen and also like toxic-free shampoo. After they're on board on TikTok Shop, their revenue is up to like 80%.
80%?
Yes, and the first live stream, like they make money more than what they make offline for the whole month.
And you know which other business has really been able to benefit from TikTok is Kylie SOLÁ,
yes,
which is shapewear, and of course, she also co-founded NU. How has this platform helped you?
Honestly, I started SOLÁ, and it was my first business. I started 2 years ago, and not everyone believed that an influencer or celebrity wanted to support a brand, but TikTok was one of the first platforms that jumped and gave us easy access to enter the platform. They subsidized part of the revenue. They gave us lots of discount codes. They gave us so much credits, and they made it so easy for us to enter a platform. And for us, we found it difficult to enter more established e-com platforms. And with live streaming suddenly becoming big on Southeast Asia, TikTok is now one of our biggest, highest earning platforms with the business. And yeah, I really have to say thank you so much to TikTok for supporting small businesses and women-led businesses like mine, and especially for NGU, our mission for NGU is to provide access to healthcare in rural areas, not only in Metro Manila, but let's say preventive care and just easy access to medicine. And TikTok, because of TikTok, we are able to share that message easily across and quick.
And not only TikTok, but also other social media platforms. And for you, Cinta, it's not all about social media platforms. It's a synergy between offline and online, a collaboration.
Correct. In what I do, I see social media as a means to convey a message, and therefore, every message that I share online always has a corresponding partnership, program, or tangible outcome that can be measured. For example, outside of my business ecosystem, I have a foundation called Act of Love, and it continues the mission of my businesses, which is to empower. So we create mentorship programs, we create workshops, and also pair youth with mentorships, with mentors, so that they can pursue their careers and whatnot. So every online activation essentially has an offline impact path.
Right.
And
right.
essentially, social media amplifies our message, but the outcome is seen in everyday lives. And I think that's so important, because it's not just about sharing message. We want to see long-term impact.
Yeah, because of course, like Indonesia is also made up of thousands of islands, just like the Philippines. So you also have to be physically there. So both digital and social media and offline. Is this the way how it all works in terms of building advocacies and businesses?
Yes. I think it's always work, because I think we want all the creators, all the influencers, I would say all the ones who make the goods in the world, using the platform to be the tools, to share the message, to raise awareness and call for action. And of course, on TikTok Shop that you mentioned, we help small business to, let's say, launch and scale at large, to make sure that they have revenue and they can use that revenue throw back to their own community. And it's become the ecosystem of the business that is just workable and beautiful.
So Kylie, you have your mental health advocacy, you have your SOLÁ and your NU. How do you gauge that you have been able to inspire your millions of followers and to basically adapt and relate to your content?
Well, right now there are many, let's say for a business, I have to say, there are many tools that can gauge success. There's revenue, there's also brand awareness, and TikTok provides tools that can measure that. Let's say for mental health, I would agree it would be hard to measure if I was able to touch a person's life, but let's say we can do offline activations, let's say by doing a run club or by holding an event that, I don't know, maybe we can paint together. But for businesses, I guess it's aligning your purpose. And sometimes we think purpose is the business's why, but it's how we make the people feel. And as long as we align our purpose to how we want to make the customers feel, then I feel like we can grow at scale.
And just to
Cinta.
add, I feel like how online success can be translated to offline success is seeing how quickly your community grows, your physical community. Back to what I was saying about my foundation, Act of Love, we started as a small movement consisting of maybe 10, 20 people in Jakarta, and since its inception in 2022, we now have agents of love across the country. So our movement has grown from a group of 10, 20 people to now thousands of people. And I think that shows that your message is getting across to the right people, and they themselves will carry on the good that you want them to in their communities. And that's how a ripple effect is created.
But do you really feel that you really have made an impact, especially with your TikTok 2.2 million followers and your Instagram's 9.2? Are you really seeing tangible results, or not wholly?
I think if we're looking at engagement as a metric, for sure, I'm seeing results. It's always very consistent, the amount of people that interact with the videos that I create. But if we're talking about impact in their lives, I travel throughout Indonesia a lot and speak at several universities. And I have each time many students from ages 18 to 22 say that the content that I have made, my company has made, has really created an impact in their lives.
I mean, just listening to these two very popular personalities. I wouldn't call them content creators or social media influencers, but they're personalities in their own right. How have they helped TikTok as well grow your business?
I would say they are the key, I would say key opinion leader here. So what they do, what they move matters, not only on the business, but also on the social impact they want to make. I want to give the example of what we support on the mental health beforehand. There's in Thailand, there's one user just come up to us and said that your live stream helped my life because they want to harm themselves, but when they watch what we portraying on the platform, they change their mind. So that's how we call it success. Creativity turned into the important change.
Oh my God, we have 50 seconds left, and there's still so much to talk about in this Creators as Catalyst session. So yes, Kylie, maybe to wrap things up, one way creators and platforms can make sure their voices are heard. Not only ours, but make it an inclusive community of content creators.
I guess knowing what you want to speak about, staying true to yourself. Each one of us is a brand. Are our brands communicating that message that we want of change? I agree with growing community, and honestly, it makes us feel good when we see people relating to the content that we create, or relating to the businesses, or that they like the products, or that this medicine changed their life, or this one made them feel so good and so confident, or because of you, I didn't commit suicide. So those are the things that really matter to me. So know your voice. Don't be ashamed to put it out there, and be bold.
All right, the final word.
Simply put, storytelling should be collaborative. Don't make content for people, make content with people, because when people have a sense of belonging, that's when they'll really have a sense of loyalty and follow what you do and implement it into their own lives.
Thank you so much, ladies. I've learned so much from this session, and I'm sure I will get my first million follower after this Creators as Catalyst session. Thank you very much, Cinta, Laura, Kiehl. Thank you very much. Let's give her a big round of applause. Chanida Klyphun from TikTok, and of course, Kylie Verzosa. Thank you very much. Thank you.